Yeah, that's when you know the shift is real. Right now, Trump is in the middle of one of the most aggressive and I'd say even one of the most successful global diplomatic tours in modern history. Going to Europe to brokerage peace, slowly, day by day, getting closer to bringing Russia and Ukraine in the same room to hammer out a peace.
Oh man, imagine being all the kids that watch this and you see you just see a version of the world that's not happening at all. Like Russia and Ukraine, like the idea that's anywhere closer to being completed situation is insane. The idea Trump has done anything on behalf of the Middle East and peace in general is crazy as well. Trump is collecting bribes and the contracts that he said he got that were already planned under the Biden administration. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I just don't know how to combat propaganda like this for our youth. It's kind of difficult, and especially when it's like there's not even a face to it. They can say anything. They can say anything, and it just does not matter. Like, here, let me go to that one. I don't want to get beat tonight. Let me see. I started a new YouTube Shorts stream, guys. I'm gonna go to that one and see if that works for a bigger algorithm. I want to get some more callers in general, but I don't know what I need to do for algorithm tonight. But yeah, there's another YouTube Shorts up on my channel. I'm gonna end this one. Thank you for watching. If you want to call in, go to that one. I'll take your call. Okay, I'll take calls now. Go to the other YouTube Shorts. I'll see you there. I am tired today, so we'll see. Let's see. Okay. Get ready, Freddy. Nice. I'm the head honcho. See you at the other stream. Make sure you drop a like there too. Buddy old pal. He is making America great again. Yes. I am also making America great again. We are all making America great again. In fact. Nice. 16 tones. Chill the hell out. What are you even talking about in my chat? What? Calm down, dude. What? What are you saying in my chat right now? Like, what's going on with you? What's going on? Wait. Is this not working? I watched the Charlie Kirk debate. Is it with the guy that's bouncing up and down a lot? I guess this one went viral, huh? Am I right? I'll take your call after this. Charlie Kirk takes down extremely bouncy Cambridge student. Extremely bouncy, bro. What does bouncy mean? Is he going to be bouncing off the walls, bro?
Good evening, Mr. Kirk. You've obviously devoted a lot of your life to electing, keeping in power Donald Trump, and you did so partly because you said Trump would put Americans first and take them out of foreign conflicts. Should we see how that is going at the moment? Currently, Trump has just accepted a $400 million debt from Qatar, which we're assured is perfectly above board. Billions in arms are going to Saudi Arabia, which they're using to bomb and starve Yemeni children. Not sure how that's in the interest of the United States, but it might be in the interest of the $5.5 billion deal his failed sons are receiving. At the same time, this great president of peace has greenlit mass killings not just in Yemen, but in Gaza, where he greenlit an invasion called Operation Gideon's Chariot, with the express aim of wiping out the Gazan population. You promised to put America first. Haven't you and your ilk sold America out?
No.
Well, I'm glad you have great intellectual substance. And
easy argument. One.
It's all the cultural
Game over.
You, isn't it? The second someone actually tells you what you're doing, which is bread.
Can you calm down a little bit? Like, just a little bit? Pounding the table, you're all over the place. No. Do you want me to go piece by piece? Or would you like me to talk slower?
I think you can...
Number one, Donald Trump is convening a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Joe Biden gave them armaments.
That's going well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's going well.
Peace
deal. Can you not
deal.
interrupt me? I allowed you to talk uninterrupted.
You're famous for not...
With our good friend Vladimir and the evil dictator Zelensky, the evil Ukrainian people refuse to accept peace. The evil Ukrainians, oh.
Interrupting?
I haven't interrupted a single person here today. Can I speak uninterrupted, actually? Okay. He is
I will say really quick, Charlie Kirk is really good at demanding the tone of conversation he wants. He does analyze the situation well. He's a really good propagandist. Like, he's very good at what he does, which is why I take a lot of interest in Charlie Kirk, because it's not really something you want to mess with. Okay, it's a very powerful form of public speaking.
I haven't interrupted a single person here today. Can I speak uninterrupted, actually? Okay. He is convening a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. I believe we will see an end to that war. Number two, he's actually talking to Iran and discouraging Israel to strike the interior of Iran, and has stopped many other international countries to do the same. Number three, can you give him credit for ending the Indian-Pakistan war?
Both of them said he didn't do that.
Well, hold on a second.
Let's go back.
But Trump did. By the way, with Iran, we just dropped like 5 fighter jets in the ocean, right? For like undisclosed reasons. And I know for a fact, some individuals can tell you information. We have lost a lot of money going after Iran and Yemen, by the way, and trying to open up these so-called shipping ports. But yeah, with Pakistan and India, Trump claimed victory on that, although there is zero evidence that Trump did anything at all with that.
No, that's important.
Russia, Ukraine.
Hold on, that's important.
Can I speak now?
Yes, but the Indian-Pakistan thing, you got to go deeper than that.
Let's go in order. Is a peace summit where the main person in question, Russia, doesn't show up, is that a success, Mr. Kirk?
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure.
Is that a success?
Well, again, these are ongoing negotiations, and it's a lot.
Okay, what the kid just said, what the college student just brought up, is that there was supposed to be some type of meeting in Turkey, and Russia refused to show up. Putin keeps on spitting in Trump's face. Essentially, Putin spits in Trump's face, and Trump opens his mouth wide and says, "Yes, Vladimir, keep on spitting in my mouth." Trump loves it when Vladimir spits in his mouth.
Better than when your Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, went alongside our Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, to Istanbul and unnecessarily blew up a potential Russian peace deal, which has resulted in hundreds of thousands of dead Ukrainians, one of the great unnecessary wars of the modern era.
Yes, bro. Remember. Russia's bad. Ukraine is also bad, but less bad. And Boris Johnson is the reason Russia killed so many Ukrainians. Boris Johnson is actually the person that changed the fate of the entire globe. Boris Johnson himself went to Ukraine, and Boris Johnson dictates the terms of every single peace treaty globally. You have to believe that. Remember, Boris Johnson caused all of this. Boris Johnson caused this.
Donald Trump believes in conversation and police through strength. He has been president for well over 120 to 130 days.
Conversation.
And he has
He's like Les
ended
Friedman.
a war between two
Les
nuclear
Friedman.
conflicts of India-Pakistan. He has secured our own U.S. southern border while we were being invaded by foreign powers. And thirdly,
Foreign
he is
powers.
brokering a potential settlement with Iran that will prevent a major escalation in the Middle East. And finally, it is very difficult, but I believe they'll get it done, that will finally see an end to the Russian-Ukrainian war.
I'm just going to disregard the enormous lies you just put out there.
Okay, by the way, I'm looking up the claim the White House made for how they facilitated the ceasefire. Trump said, okay, this is the entire piece of evidence that Trump gave for ending the India-Pakistan conflict a few weeks ago. Here's the quote. We settled that whole, not whole thing. We settled that whole, and I think I settled it through trade. We settled that whole, and I think I settled it through trade. Now, there is no evidence of anything happening. Dude. Oh, man. Okay, you are a pushover and a partisan hack if you believe Trump ended the India-Pakistan war. Just saying.
About Russia and Ukraine. But do you really think leverage, negotiations work if you cut off all your leverage and scream at one party in the Oval Office? Don't you think that has just emboldened Russia? Because look at the approach. Putin thinks so much of your glorious president, he can't even be asked to show up. You have elected, or help elect, somebody who is at best an idiot and at worst is deeply corrupt.
Okay, again, so Trump and Putin had a 2-hour phone call today. You'll acknowledge that's a good thing. The pursuit of peace can sometimes be a winding road, and it's a lot better than sending hundreds of billions of dollars further.
You know they're cooked when MAGA starts saying white girl wall art. The road to peace can be a windy road. It's like
into the killing fields of eastern Ukraine, something that tragically both the UK government and the US government has been unnecessarily supporting for a couple
just
of
Boris
years.
Johnson
President
did
Trump
this.
wants to see a brokerage, an ending of this settlement. I pray we can get it. It's very complicated because of the mess that Joe Biden left, which was an active kinetic war with a nuclear power sending American-made missiles into the interior of Russia. So President Trump has already ended a war. He's ended an invasion. He's only 130 days into this. And I believe, we do not know. At this point, we are merely speculating, which I think we should not spend our time doing that, because eventually one of us will be right. I believe we'll be right, and I believe we'll see an end to this war.
Can we just talk about 100 billion's worth of weapons? Because you dodged my question on what was going on in the Middle East, where Trump has just signed enormous arms contracts with Saudi Arabia and with Qatar. And I noticed you ignored the fact that this might have had anything to do with the blatant corruption going on through the Trump coin and going on through giving the very competent sons of Donald Trump billions of investment from Saudi Arabia and Qatar. This is something that is directly embroiling Americans into conflict, but is importantly killing many innocent people. Those nations have been known to terrorize innocent civilian populations. So if you're coming to me and you're objecting to America selling weaponry, why are you defending shilling for the Saudis?
Well, hold on. One is sending weaponry, one is purchasing. Secondly, you do know that the biggest purchase that was announced was commercial airliners, 737, $100 billion. You've heard of Qatar Airways. They purchased $100 billion of commercial airways. You are right, there were some weapons contracts. But I guess the question is, would you rather have Saudi Arabia buy weapons?
Yeah, blatant meme coin corruption. I hate calling it a meme coin, because calling it a meme coin makes it sound all funny. But the meme coin thing is actually insane, okay? The cryptocurrency thing, where they paid Trump to get access to Trump, is like foreign investors from... It's just really crazy. Republicans are such pushovers.
From America or China?
I'd rather they not have American weaponry at cut price rates.
See, I disagree.
Let's talk about Qatar for a second.
Okay, fine.
Because you mentioned Qatar. You've been talking a lot about Hamas and the evils of Hamas. Can I ask you, who's the main funder of Hamas?
Well, the Palestine...
State?
Well, the West actually funds Hamas.
No, which state?
Well, Iran funds...
No.
Also,
where are the Hamas leaders?
And also Qatar funds Hamas.
Yes.
It is a combination of international relief organizations.
Is this a state we should have a $400 million jet with the President of the United States on it?
Hold on. First of all, it was not given to him personally. I understand the optics of it.
Brother. Okay, so Hillary Clinton, bring up her name. And I'm not a Hillary fan, but he will connect it like, okay, Hillary literally started ISIS. Okay, she began ISIS. And, this student is asking a question about like very intricate, like, okay, who funded who? And Charlie Kirk's like, well, it's a complicated situation. Well, there's this country and this country and this country. And do you see like the tap dancing they got to do around this? And the only response for this kid in like the or a student in the title is extremely bouncy, which he is bouncy to be fair.
But it was not given to him personally. It was given to the U.S. government. And under that standard, no U.S. government should ever receive any gifts from any foreign countries whatsoever. It's not given to him personally and not a violation.
Okay, for it to be fitted to be Air Force One, okay, Qatar Force One, it would need to take like 1 to 2 years. It would be probably over $1 billion. By the time Trump left office, it would be given to him. Okay, it's not going to go to the U.S. government.
Then why is he trying to transfer it to his personal library?
He's not, actually. Okay, again, he sent out a statement. This is way too in the weeds. If you want to keep on going it, we can.
It's a fundamental moral principle.
Okay, so under that fundamental moral principle, then, can you acknowledge, though, that President Trump is getting more done in a less period of time than any president we've seen, while our prior president did not even know what year he got elected?
Base, dude. No argument at all. Can you just admit that Donald Trump is God's little cookie, God's little good cookie? He's a special little boy. He's a special little star. He got golden stars when he was in first grade, and he did so much. And meanwhile, Joe Biden could not even wipe himself. Like, bro, it's such a good pivot. Why is the cheat code so powerful? Charlie Kirk was able to do a bunch of like platitudes this entire time. The road to peace is a windy path in the meadows of sorrow. It's like he cannot respond to one point, and he needs to bring up. He's in a different country here, by the way. He's in a different country talking about foreign policy, and he's bringing up Joe Biden.
You understand the contrast here.
Whataboutism again? I'm not a defender of Biden.
I'm not saying President Trump is far better than
you have to defend the person you spent millions to elect.
I will defend every day of someone who ends an invasion.
That's all you do,
brings down the price of oil, who is revitalizing the American economy.
The price of oil that's down because of recession concerns. The price of oil down because a recession is looming.
Who's brokering peace, who stopped the potential nuclear war, who is bringing
Iran
man,
dude, he stopped the nuclear war too,
and bringing Russia to the table. Someone who does not want armed conflicts with the greatest powers of our time. I will defend that endlessly. What are you defending?
In a fantasy world of your own creation, so it's quite hard to engage
that, but then disprove it.
Let's check on how Trump is doing in terms of diplomacy. Look, with the war in the Middle East, do you think it was a defensible decision to tell the Israelis you wanted Trump Gaza to agree for Israel to invade the Gaza Strip and to continue to murder thousands of innocent children and civilians in a pointless war? Is that in America's interest? Is that in humanity's
Well,
interest?
first of all, you should know something about Trump. There's something, if you realize with Trump over the last 10 years, he is quite the social media user and uses hyperbolic language.
He's quirky.
But let me ask you, in the conflict of Israel versus Hamas, who's the good guy?
I believe both Hamas and the Israeli government are evil, but I think also that there is no justification.
Are they equally?
There is no justification for the murder and mutilation of thousands of innocent people and children.
Charlie Kirk cannot answer the question, who's the bad guy between Ukraine and Russia? But he wants him to talk about if he views the Israeli government and Hamas as more evil. Like, if it comes to like any of the or either of these conflicts, the Israeli government versus Hamas is a much more complicated question to answer than Russia and Ukraine. Like, Russia and Ukraine is much more straightforward. And that's not the comment on people of Israel or the people of Palestine, but the governments there are horrid. But like Ukraine, Russia is not even, that's not even a question. But Charlie Kirk is, yeah, I don't know. The whole Charlie Kirk model is just like doing a bunch of like, if you ask him a tough question, well, what about Joe Biden? Well, I mean, Trump says things on Twitter. He's pretty quirky. Then he says platitudes, and then he makes you answer. Like, Charlie Kirk makes you answer a tough question because he can avoid all the ones you ask him.
Futile.
Let's zero in on it.
There is no justification, Mr. Kirk, for invading hospitals, for bombing innocent populations and dragging out a war which is damaging Israel and the West's security.
You've made that point, but
Well, it's not a point, it's a moral truth, isn't
okay,
it?
yeah. It was also a moral truth that the war started because 1,300 Jews were killed and 200 were taken hostage. And when you declare war on Israel, expect a firestorm in reaction. Let me finish, I let you talk. Israel, at its holiest day of the calendar year besides Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, Samat Torah, the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War. On Shabbat, Hamas invaded Israel, deciding to go recklessly to music concerts, to homes.
Yeah, this is terrible. But the level of aggression Charlie shows here versus talking about the funders of state-sponsored terrorism that puts bounties on U.S. soldier heads, the fact that Charlie Kirk gets so mad about this, but not mad equally, or even just like, even comparably, about Trump doing backroom deals with the people that like celebrated 9/11. Like, it's really interesting that Charlie Kirk is activating right now. Like, he does not show any emotion at any point in this conversation except for right now. Really interesting.
To kibbutzes and taking 200 plus hostages.
Like, you could show emotion. You could show emotion for both. Like, you could be mad about both. I mean, it just what you decide to give a pass to or not. It's kind of crazy.
The most cloistered urban environments on the planet. 2 million people live in a place where it's impossible to wage war. Impossible. Where they wear civilian clothing, they violate every tenet of the Geneva Convention, and the IDF, when they do something right, they get no credit. When they do life-saving surgeries of a Gazan child, they get no credit. When they drop leaflets, they get no credit. But when they happen to bomb a place where they are operating their military from, which we now know from third-party verified sources, hundreds of Hamas military operations are in mosques, schools, and hospitals. I'm sorry, the country where they were living in relative peace on October 6th, that all of a sudden we had a war and Hamas started the war. And I don't see people that were really upset about the 2 million Germans that were killed in World War II, civilians. A tragic truth of war is that civilians die. I don't like it and you don't like it. And they brought it upon themselves. The only operation and entity to blame is the leadership of Hamas, not the Israeli government, for fighting this defensive war after they were invaded.
I'm no defender of the terrible pogrom that was launched against Jews on that day. But the justification for the death of innocents cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust. It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent.
That's the whole conversation about genocide and stuff too, is like reasonable collateral in response. And I know a lot of more like lefty types will bring in more historical account of occupation and which power is the cause for a lack of stability. But when it comes to the past like 5 or 10 years, or even just like from October 7th, the real conversation is the war crimes as an extension of a response to October 7th, and what is considered exceeding the reasonable amount of response. Like when you say Israel has a right to defend themselves, and then when it comes to Israel purposely targeting children or aid workers or media members or aid ships and stuff like that, or doing the starvation campaigns or ethnic cleansing, there should be rules to responses, which, by the way, America ignored, like all of those rules in the Middle East after 9/11. So there's a reason America kind of, is okay with what Israel is doing largely, because America did a lot of that in Iraq and Afghanistan. So like it's just, pretty bad. But yeah, it's a pretty bad thing.
Civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who are not complicit in those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there. The deaths that have been inflicted, nobody knows the true toll, but somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people lie dead under the rubble. And what is left for Gaza except for to continue to suffer under Hamas? Because it turns out Netanyahu's political strategy has not worked. It has
Okay, just because, Netanyahu sucks as a leader. Okay, everyone agrees. Josh Shapiro, Jewish governor of Pennsylvania, was talking about how terrible Netanyahu is, talking about the need for a new government in Israel. So, I mean, the criticism there is definitely 100% landing. But like, okay, just to reaffirm my position, okay, you can talk about collateral of civilians in warfare. That is a true thing that Charlie said there. But it's not true to say that, just because there will be collateral in some sense, that does not mean to do intentional killings of civilians. It does not mean to have no disregard or to have no regard for civilians. It does not mean all civilians must die or all civilians must be starved out. There should probably be more, especially in modern warfare, there's probably more surgical ways and precise ways to deal with certain parts of it.
Entrenched Hamas within the territories. To be a Christian, I would have thought, Mr. Kirk, would never have involved suggesting that the price for an atrocity must be an infinite cycle of bloodlust, that innocent people and the young population must be killed to avenge some kind of providential...
Well, Charlie Kirk is a Christian nationalist, which means he loves the domination fantasies. He kind of loves the cycle of like domination and endless suffering, as long as it's something he believes in. Charlie Kirk does not really, ascribe to those Christian beliefs that this guy's talking about.
How can you call yourself a Christian? Well, you just did.
I want to make sure we get our moral clarity straight before we proceed. No one likes what's happening in Gaza. No one with a heart or a soul or a mind likes when kids die. But you must understand who started the conflict so that you could end it correctly. And until Hamas...
Whoopsie, sorry. If you want to please drop a like on the stream. If you want to call in, I'll take calls after this clip is over. Please drop likes for the algorithm. If you're watching this back on YouTube, please drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. I take live call-ins. I'll take live call-ins after this with the phone number you see on screen. So give me 1 minute. There's actually 3 minutes left in this video.
Brokers an unconditional surrender, of which they are unwilling to do. They could release the hostages and drop their weapons, and their lives would be spared. Instead, they are using children of Gaza as cannon fodder, financed by the Iranian mullahs and dragging the entire world into this conflict. So I don't even know what we're debating at this point, other than I believe that Israel, I believe the facts, Israel was unconditionally attacked on October 7th. They're responding in kind. And I would just ask you a very simple moral question. How should Israel have responded?
Not with the blanket carpet bombing of the city, not with bombing hospitals. Of course, some kind of military operation might have been necessary, but not murder on this scale. There is no justification for what is happening with the enormous death toll that is being produced. I really cannot see how you come here and you have the gall to lecture us on Christian morality and then sit here and justify the murder of thousands of civilians. And is it working, Mr. Cook? Is Hamas dismantled?
I've never said that.
You just did.
Well, no,
this is your whole
in
thing.
war, these are called casualties of a war.
We're going to need to stop bringing this
Again,
to close.
I'm not going to justify every military maneuver of a 100,000 person army. Instead, what I will do is I'll be clear that there is a good guy and there is a bad guy. I honestly...
Isn't that the morality of a child?
Well, hold on. It's interesting you say that, because a child who knows that Israel is the good guy, Hamas is bad, has a lot more wisdom than a student like yourself at Cambridge University.
I will be glad
sick burn.
I will not have been
Sick
somebody
burn.
who has defended the genocide of the Palestinian people. And I think you will have to reckon one day that you have reckoned with...
Interesting. I want to close on this. So can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan because I'm not an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing?
Oh
going
no,
on?
quiz time.
And you have
Trivia
strong
time.
opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior.
I mean, he brought it. Okay, yes. Okay, before he goes off real quick, like he did bring up Yemen right away and Saudi. And I think didn't Trump veto the arms embargo to Saudi Arabia to stop the Yemen genocide his first term too? I believe that was the thing. By the way, drop a like if you're watching the stream. We had a big viewer jump. Answer the poll. Does Trump like Russia or Ukraine more? It's 80% Russia, 20% Ukraine. So I think people agree on that. But yeah, Charlie Kirk is a culture warrior. But Charlie Kirk acts really good. Okay, he's a good actor to pretend like he's he cares about knowledge. He does not care about knowledge. Charlie Kirk does not give a shit about knowledge at all. He cares about propaganda.
Guys,
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you've supported as corrupt, as selling the country out
Very
to
true.
the lowest bidder, and of doing irreparable damage to a country
True.
I'm sure we all deep down love.
The difference-
We'll have to reckon with that
difference
one, Mr. Kirk.
is when
True. Dude, Charlie Kirk is going to respond with a really hard-hitting critique, okay? Charlie Kirk's going to be like, sir, let me ask you one question. What is a woman? I'm not gonna lie, Charlie Kirk, okay, in a hostile environment, he seems kind of shocked. Like, kudos to him going into an actual, like, hostile environment, but he looks actually mad right now. He looks triggered. Like, look at him, look at this, look at this.
the difference is when we get our way, we'll still have a country, and your country will be a third world hellhole.
Oh! Shit, dog whistle. Ending on a dog whistle. Dude, hell yeah. What a dog whistle, bro. What do you mean by third world, Charlie Kirk? The Christian nationalist dream. Tell me why it's gonna be a third world country and yours is gonna be perfect, okay, Charlie Kirk? Your Christian nationalism. Ooh, sick burn. Charlie Kirk had that entire time to make up a burn, bro. He had this entire time to ponder. He was here pondering a comeback.
The difference is when we get our way, we'll still have a country, and your country will be a third world hellhole.
Oh man, dude, dunked on him. Freaking dunked on him, dude. Game over. Please drop a like and subscribe. I'll take phone calls. Please support the stream. If you have any money and you want to support independent media, Jolah Politics, Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Jolah Politics, or you can donate through Coffee. Coffee is a text-to-speech. I have a stream goal of $25 on Venmo or Cash App. Venmo or Cash App, Jolah Politics. Or become a channel member, $3 a month. Super chats, anything. Really appreciate you supporting independent media. What a sick burn, bro. What a sick Charlie Kirk burn. Okay, you can call the phone number now if you want to call in. You can call the phone number. What a sick burn. Charlie Kirk burned him. Holy shit. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Nothing much.
Hello?
How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
You're live. You are live, so we can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it, man. I mean, you're saying that Trump hates America.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Cutting Medicaid from 14 million Americans and using that to pay for tax cuts for the ultra wealthy, I think shows you hate America if you hate the working people of America.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know too much about that topic. I haven't looked into it. I guess what I would want to pick your brain on is
Okay.
talking about immigration. Maybe let's talk about immigration and seeing how he's changed a little bit of the laws that Biden had in place before he got in.
Okay, I will just say really quick that this happens a lot. I would just recommend MAGA and Trumpers know about topics like immigration, largely because they're social and culture war topics at a very, when we talk about them, it's more so like a social conversation, I feel, more so than healthcare. So I think looking up the healthcare policies and tax policies and like Trump's crypto coin, knowing about that stuff could probably provide yourself a more solid basis for your political stuff. But we can talk about immigration for now, though.
Yeah, let's do it, brother. Let's talk about that. I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think Trump is doing the right thing by securing the border?
So like when you say things like securing the border, that's like a political slogan. I would want to know like more so like what is Trump doing, how is he doing it, and like what are the outcomes? Because there's a lot of stuff I disagree with largely. like students, for example. The way he's attacking students is going to kill the American economy and our research from like Harvard and the crackdown on free speech for like immigrants and stuff. So, what do you mean by securing the border?
Well, I think giving a little bit more power to the border patrol agents that, obviously work in the southern border. I think negotiating a deal with Mexico, putting 10,000 troops, Mexican troops along the southern border has also helped a lot. I also think that, give me one second. I also think that just creating a little bit more stricter laws for people to come into the country from third world countries is also helping. Maybe not helping, but it's also like maybe keeping check of the right people coming in. What do you think about that?
Mexico has had borders on the, or has had troops on the border for a little while now. I don't know if they re-upped or if they added more
Right.
troops, but they kind of have been doing that with a deal under the Biden admin. I'd say that like immigration has been going down the past like 6 months. It's been going down a decent amount. So a lot of the policies working with countries from Guatemala to like Mexico and the Central
Right.
American countries. Biden did a lot of work there that took a long time, and Biden was not strong
Right.
enough when it comes to talking about immigration or with like
Yeah.
quick fixes. Now, when it comes to Trump and changing laws, when it comes to who comes in America, that's
Can I pick
difficult.
your brain real quick on that? Because I just don't think Mexico took Biden as serious as they took Trump. And I don't and I mean you could see the caravans that were coming in during the Biden administration. I mean, there was tens of thousands of people coming in from, I mean, mostly Central America, Africa, China. And it didn't hold really doing anything. I mean, if anything, they were feeding them. They were pretty much guiding them all the way to the border. And it doesn't seem like they're doing that anymore. What do you think about that?
I mean, part of it was just like after COVID, a lot of countries were not recovered, so people came to America for opportunity. We needed workers. The American economy was the number one economy in the world after COVID, so that's one
Right.
reason we had a lot of people coming to the Mexican border. When it comes to the caravans, those are
Yeah.
really scary words. My issue with Trump supporters is that they act like these are a bunch of criminals who want to come harm Americans. When even
Right.
Tom Homan admits these are like 99.9% just like family people trying to find a better life. And I never hear
Right.
Trump say that. He always talks about they're going to come invade your suburbs and bring gangs here and terrorists, and that
Yeah.
has not been true in any of the data at all. Even right now, talking about we're being invaded by foreign powers. There's a reason they're sending 15,000 ICE agents to college kids who are saying things about like Israel they don't like, or like anti-American speech. They're making conflicts like that because I mean, there's no shootouts or anything. There's no terrorist cells
Right.
hiding in America, but they hype it up that way. And I think that conversation distracts from our ability to actually talk about immigration. Now I will say for Biden and Mexico, Mexico invested $1.5 billion over 2 years on border infrastructure programs and like smart border technology. So they did invest with that under the Biden admin. And I will say for like one stat, fentanyl
Right.
overdoses from 2023 to 2024 had the largest drop in fentanyl overdoses since the beginning of the opioid epidemic. So we did see deaths drop greatly, and it's largely because of the mechanisms that were done at the border during the Biden administration. So Biden was successful there, but he was not successful when it came to the overall like numbers of people coming over. But
Right.
I do think the number one reason people view immigration in a bad way is because Trump paints them with a really negative perception, negative brush.
Right. And I don't even think. I mean, I think the Republicans try to put everyone who comes into the country illegally all in one kind of like place, saying, they say, oh, they're here to commit crimes, they're here to steal your jobs. I don't think that's the case for everyone. I mean, like 6 million people snuck in through, or not even snuck in, was allowed through with Biden. One topic though, now that we bring that up, I mean, I think it's a little bit disappointing though that so many people did come in. Well, Biden made it a lot easier for people to come into the country legally, on like work visas or temporary, like, again, work visas. And I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty unfair to the people who have been here for a while, that like for been here for 30 years, no, like had never committed a crime, paid their taxes, been working, full time for a company or legally. And like, what about those people, right? Why didn't they get anything under Biden? But why do the people who
Um,
apply for a
so
visa?
the
Why do the
answer
people who
is
applied at the border did? I mean, it doesn't seem it's fair to the people who have been here
Because the answer is
longer, does it?
Biden followed laws. So like when Trump turns people away right now from the border, he's not following like asylum laws, for example. Biden did follow them. That's why catch and release became a thing because Biden followed what the laws were. They would have had to change the laws through Congress to actually change the official laws for these things. Biden used protective status and all these different mechanisms as a way to vet immigrants to come from different areas of the world. So that was a way of vetting, a way of doing it in a safe way. When it comes to fairness, if we really cared about that, we would pass a border bill to make a streamlined immigration path. I just think people say that to use for political points.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you do, because you seem
Right.
genuine, but when it comes to politicians, if they really wanted to fix that issue, they would fix it. They just use it to make an excuse to not do anything for immigration.
Right.
Whoever happens to find their path in, I think it's fine. I'm not gonna say like we're gonna stop. I want to do good policy. So if we have a good policy we can do, it's not really about what's fair or not fair to certain people. It's about what works in
Right.
many scenarios. So like even if someone was here on a work visa that lasted probably like 10 years and they're done working and their visa ends
Yeah.
and now they're technically here illegally or undocumented or on a visa overstay, that person, in my opinion, should 100% be an American citizen. And I think most Americans agree with that. They should be able to stay here, become an American citizen. They've done no crime. They've been working their ass off for 10 years. They've been integrated into their communities. They should be an American. But I don't see Trump doing anything at all to change the actual laws that can make that happen, which is like the big issue.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the people that did come in through the Biden administration, to be quite frank with you, don't have the same mindset as the people that were coming in before. I mean, I don't think most of the people that I know that's come in recently, because I work in construction, I work with a lot of immigrants. There's just not. I don't think they were vetted correctly. To be honest with you, I think we let a lot of people in who aren't really here to work hard, who are honestly here to take advantage of, our resources to get programs.
They can't get
I was talking
programs
to.
though. I mean, people that just come here can't just like take
Mhm.
advantage of programs. They can't
No,
do
they
that.
can. They can. No, they can. I know some. They can. I've
No,
seen it.
I don't care if you know some, but the idea that there's a bunch of people in America coming here to take advantage, like you could find numbers, it's like less than 0.1%.
Right.
So like when you say that,
But
that's
but
not
they are
nearly
though.
an issue. If you wanna
Oh,
if you wanna
right,
live in
right.
a if you wanna live in a utopia, that's fine. But when it comes to people abusing any of these systems, it's a very, very minuscule number. If we cut down from those people, it would be a less efficient program. We'd be hurting people that don't deserve to be hurt. So like when you bring that up, I would
Right.
never focus on that as the main issue because it's just like we
Sure.
should fix the other parts probably.
Sure. Okay, I'll give you that. But what about like the cultural differences of people who are coming in from a third world country into a country that isn't a third world country and shifting the culture for the people that are already here? What
A lot
about
of
that?
people and a lot of evangelical Christians want more of a third world country in America right now. So I don't know if we can really judge based on
What do you mean by
cultural
that?
grounds.
Explain. What do you mean by that?
Well, a lack of like a constitution. They don't really care much about law and order. They want a more agrarian, well, not even agrarian, but they want a society that's more
Eh,
traditionally. I mean, the laws they want surrounding things like abortion are much in line with third world countries. Like the third
no,
world
no.
policies that MAGA does for abortions and death penalties, 100% Saudi Arabian or 100% Cambodian or 100% whatever third world country you want to bring
Right.
up. So we have policies in America that people disagree with. I would say that there's no
Right.
place in America where you can point to and say, well, immigration is the reason this place has like a high crime rate or whatever. It's been going pretty well in America, and
Immi-
most of the issues are
I
economic.
can
If
point
they're
one. I can point to one. I can point to you one. PG County in Maryland. I mean, it's like especially around the Beltway. I mean, it's all these areas that are heavily populated with illegal immigrants. They're not like the most super safest places. There's a lot of MS-13 activity there. There's a lot of gang relation there. There's a lot of crime. What about that?
for that one county, I'm sure there's other issues causing a high crime rate. I don't know how you could definitively say there's MS-13 and tons of MS-13 there. I looked up the actual. Let me see the increase in this area. Let me see here.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's any correlation. There's no direct correlation that can be found statistically with immigration in this area. There's actually a decrease of violent crime for 2024 versus 2023. So much of the time,
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
Trump got elected. Because Trump got elected.
Trump became president. Okay, did you
Oh,
hear
you're
me?
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Yep.
so in 2024 there was a decrease. So like a lot of these issues can be. Do you understand like correlation versus causation by chance?
Yeah, I do.
Some things can correlate without being caused. I think like autism correlates with the amount of like cheesecake eaten or something like that. I forget what it is, but like some things just
Right.
correlate and they don't actually mean that's the cause of it. But yeah, every data set we have says immigrants have a lower crime rate than naturally born American citizens as well. So I mean, if there are issues somewhere, there's issues with crime everywhere for different reasons. We just have to attack things like poverty and opportunities to attack crime. But
Right. I mean, I just think culturally, the country will shift, right? Because if you put millions of people from another into a country, it's not like you're allowing a couple thousand of them at a time, and then you're allowing them to kind of like, adhere and learn the culture and adapt. You're not. It's like you're allowing a whole bunch of them, and a
But
lot of
like
them are
that
living
seems
in
more
the
like a
same.
race issue though with the white Americans that are anxious about it. White American Christians are anxious about it because, like, for example, the
Right.
Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, they were largely Christian. Like Haiti's a really Christian country because of a lot of missionaries and mission trips. So like it's and a lot of these Hispanic immigrants are also very Christian as well. That's why they vote GOP. They vote Republican. So a lot of people in America afraid of that are usually white and they're anxious that they're going to become a minority with like the great replacement theory. America has been such a good country because we were able to go through culturally turbulent times. If America cannot handle immigration and new cultures, we've done much. By the way, we've had much greater shifts in culture throughout the 1900s than we could ever experience now
Right.
with other white immigrants. But I guess because, but even yeah, like Irish and Polish and Italian and German, like these immigrants were not considered to be fully white when they first came to America, especially if they were Catholic. And I'd say throughout those years in the 60s as well, like 70s, 80s, the immigration we saw there, if that was ever going to be a huge issue, it would have been an issue there. Like right now in the year 2025, I just think saying that's a big issue is like I don't think someone needs to be racist to view that as an issue. But if that's like a number one, because like by the way, diversity is not easy. I think diversity is a very good thing. It means you have a strong free country. Countries that are not free cannot handle diversity for a reason because they need a more homogenous culture to control it. But it's going to be difficult to do diversity a lot of the time. So it's not going to be easy. But if someone gets uncomfortable to the point where they think the country's being overtaken, for example, it seems like that's based off of a lot of paranoia because our crime rate in America has been going down. Other than 2020, it's been going down steadily since 1990. So
But if like Biden allowed, but if Biden freely allowed, or let's just say Biden wasn't as strict on the border as maybe Trump is today, and a lot of people did come through, right? Obviously, a lot of people did come through, and a lot of these people are, let's just say they're pushing hard in one particular part of the country. They're obviously going to overturn, obviously going to overturn maybe like the electoral college vote eventually. They're going to maybe start voting a particular way, especially if they're not adapting to what the rest of the country is like. So I mean, does that seem? I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, does that seem fair to the people who are here legally? That a group of people are going to show up, they're going to change the laws, they're going to change the voting, they're going to change the representatives in Congress, senators. I mean, it doesn't seem right to the people who are here legally that illegals are changing the particular state or particular county.
well, immigrants right now, there's a good reason to believe they'd vote more Republican regardless. But I don't think it's a thing about like fairness. I think if you're in America, you're able to live here and work a job and pay taxes, then it doesn't. It's not a big deal. I don't believe
But
that's
if
going
you
to be
got
a big
here
issue.
illegally, though, it's different, right? Like you think it's different if you got here illegally.
If you got here illegally, there's a completely different process. But if we're going to conflate illegal immigration with
Right.
asylum seekers and protective status, then it's going to be a different conversation. But Republicans usually think every immigrant's illegal, so it's hard to have that conversation unless if we're really specific about who we're talking about.
Do you think that the rest of the world right now respects America more because Trump's president, or less?
Objectively, with global polling, this is the first time in world history where China is more trusted as a country than the U.S. and our favorability with countries has went down like 20 and 30%. Our tourism has went down 30%. So America, like objectively, is crashing and on the world stage. Even in the bond markets, even with the strength of the U.S.
Right.
dollar, the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency, America is not seen as a safe place for freedom of speech or for investing right now. And I think money talks, especially in this situation. Yeah, America is objectively less respected now by every metric that we have that we can
I
possibly
would have
measure.
to. I mean, I would have to differ with you on that. I don't think America's less respected now than it was before. I think America is more respected now that Trump's in office. I think Trump is a way better negotiator than Biden was. I think people are more afraid of Trump, especially in other countries. I think they take us more serious now than they did before. Trump goes to countries. Trump negotiates with foreign leaders. I'm not saying he does everything perfectly because he doesn't. No one does. But Trump's more involved. Trump shows up, and anybody who is in business can tell you that. I mean, the person who shows up does kind of have a little bit more leverage than the person who doesn't.
Now, I will tell you
I
right
don't.
now. So when you say these things that are cliches and slogans, I want to be very precise when I say this, okay? Trump has 0 trade deals made. He started a trade war with every country in the globe, and now China is exporting more than ever before. China has more trade deals with Europe and South Korea and Japan than they have in history, and Africa and South America. America right now, the United States of America, we are falling compared to China when it comes to respect, when it comes to trade, when it comes to everything. China is zooming. So we could say all these fancy words about Trump showing up. He does show up, but when he shows up, he's there like he's doing some things I can't say because it'll be offensive. I'm just and he's very
Right.
weak when it comes to Russia, Ukraine. He's like, Vladimir, please stop. Vladimir changed. He isn't like the man he's not like Vladimir's not the man I married anymore. I just I mean, you could like the guy,
Right.
you can like him, but and the crypto ball stuff, the telling Harvard they can't have international students, that'll destroy America. If America loses our international students, we are gonna it's gonna be a Chinese millennia. Like we're done. We're cooked. I appreciate the call. I'll give you a final point to end on then.
No, man. I look, dude. I mean, I think America's on the up. I think next year is going to probably be one of the best years we're going to have. I think that our neighbors down south, Mexico, I think they respect us now. I think that a lot less people are coming in through illegally because now they're more afraid of Trump. I think people who are in the country right now are happy. I mean, he won the popularity vote, and I mean that kind of tells you a lot. Like, when was the last time a Republican won a popularity vote? Biden, Kamala Harris didn't show up to any podcast. She didn't show up to. She didn't do any sort of. She didn't do any sort of fun. Like, she didn't show up anywhere. No one knew her. No one knew what she was about. Trump showed up, and I think that goes a long way. I mean, obviously we differ in this, but I just don't see how Democrats can keep the same viewpoints and expect to win again. I just don't see it. I mean, unless you run Newsom or something like that in the next election. But I mean, JD Vance is probably going to take him out if that happens.
Yeah, well, it's hard because it seems like you get most of your politics from podcasts, especially if you like Newsom, because I hate Newsom and everyone hates Newsom. I appreciate
You hate
sharing.
Newsom?
Yeah, I cannot stand Newsom. He's really
Why do you
a
hate
terrible
Newsom?
He's an ineffective governor. He's very wishy-washy on his policies. He has no strong platform. He tries to be popular with everyone. He's just the example of a soulless politician. It's just really not good.
Okay, last question to you. If you could choose, who would you think would be the best person to run on the Democrat side
Me.
next? Okay.
I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna run on free. I'm gonna run. Let's see, what should I run on? I'm gonna run on free. Free Nintendo Switches for everyone. It's gonna be my policy. There you go.
Dude, I think we should just get an Xbox too and a PlayStation. Like, might as well, man.
You know what? You're right. We need an American-made company. Gotta be Xbox. They're American-made, I think.
Who, Xbox? Yeah, dude. Everything
Yeah.
has, for sure. Only American-made stuff, right? Little taxes on that. No, man, I
Yes.
appreciate it. You having me on. Thanks a lot, man.
All
You have a
right,
good day,
appreciate
okay?
it. Have a good night, man. See you. But Kamala was on no podcasts. Oh, I stopped recording for that. Am I recording on my unlisted? Am I recording on this? Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness I still have this going. I have an unlisted stream going. Please drop a like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. John Ossoff, ice cream. Everyone says ice cream tacos. Ice cream tacos. My Team Sony. Japan really does have video games on lock. Why does Japan? All right. Why does Japan do video games so good? Because they have Sony and Nintendo, right, and a few other companies. I don't know much about that. Please consider donating to Jolah Politics on Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Jolah Politics. Please drop a like and hit subscribe. Please join Discord as well. Joining Discord really helps support the stream. Really nice having you on Discord to have conversations before and after streams. There's usually a group in there talking most nights. Depends on when. There's usually a decent number in there when they do talk. Yeah. I'll take another call, I guess. I'm gonna open up a second stream because I'm a cringe. Because I am a cringe. Okay, buddy. Let me open up my TikTok too. Why not? America the beautiful. I'll take your phone call in a second. I see you calling. Let's see if I have any voicemails to listen to.
Yeah, you're a typical Democrat loser. You don't answer the phone. I'm trying to do a fundraiser for Gays for Gaza to send all the homosexuals to Gaza because the Muslims are such loving, accepting people. Islam loves gays and they treat them very well. They give them a tour of the rooftops, which we don't do here and I disagree with because we're American. But you think multiculturalism is a thing where every culture is the same, which it's not.
Yes, that's what
Why
multiculturalism
do
means,
Muslims
actually.
always kill gay people?
That is what multiculturalism means, regardless of popular thought. It means that every person is, is the same. That's what multiculturalism means, guys. Every person is the same. Like, how do you not know that? Like, come on. It means every person is the same. It's simple. It's so simple. If you don't know that, you're just silly. You're a silly goose. 1 second, brother. I'm trying to get my stream working on TikTok. I'll answer your phone call in a second, Mr. Gays for Gaza. Okay. I have to do this. I have to add source. Camera. Can I add this camera? Camera. Why is that not working, brother? Brother. It's whatever. It's not gonna work. Oh wait, I have to do my video source. My this should be a scene, preview default program. Also, I have to type. Okay. That's not it. Really? It's not gonna work? I can't stream to TikTok? Why is it not working? Okay, fine.
Joshua.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yeah, I could hear you. What's up?
What's up, man? How's your evening going?
My evening is going fantastic. How about you?
Oh, pretty good. Are you enjoying the weather?
Sure. Maybe. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's nice. I was just curious about your opinion on diversity. How do you feel about Japan?
I love diversity.
Yeah, but I mentioned Japan because everyone always says it's so clean, safe, and everything, but Japan has the least amount of diversity of nearly any country on Earth.
That's cool.
And something I honestly, like, please don't interrupt me or gaslight me or anything, but an honest question I have, and I'm not a racist, my ex-woman is black, but why is it the whitest countries such as Switzerland, Norway, are like the most safe, advanced countries, but the darkest colored skin, it's something I brought up with my pastor, are like the least sophisticated.
Okay, I need call in. Which output is this?
True.
Which output is this? 1 second. I want to figure out this TikTok thing. Okay, wait. I need to add a scene to TikTok. Okay. Add a scene. Add a source. I need a camera source. And then I need to add that. And then my game capture. Why is my video capture not working, brother? My stream's gonna die. Okay. Virtual camera. Whatever.
Call from
Vlad.
Hello?
Hello.
Howdy,
Hey,
what's
is
up?
it the right place? The
Yep,
show?
this is the right
online?
place. Yep.
Hey, my name is Vlad. I'm Russian and I like Trump.
Cool. Why do you like Trump?
Yeah, I mean, if you compare the two different spectrums of
Of autism?
No, of potential, of reality that was coming before him, and the alternative future that we have with him. Like out of two evils, I prefer him
Nice.
because it's less authoritarian. We've seen that all what's coming with this attack on, like, from almost like that happened with Putin against Navalny. I don't know if you're aware of what's happening in Russia.
Is that when he killed his political opponent?
Yeah, he basically jailed him, and this guy died in jail. So if we just look at this from this perspective, I'm not saying Trump is saint or he's doing great stuff, but just like by picking from two evils of the same government encroachment and stuff like this, we can see who's less evil. Like, just it's so obvious.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
Yeah, this administration never attacked.
Would
to
never
this
attack
extent.
political opponents. Yes, they would never attack political opponents.
No,
I'm very grateful
I'm
for
not
that.
saying never. I'm not saying never.
I'm very
There's
grateful
always
for that.
spectrum. There's always extent to what you can do, right? And clearly, it's not even close.
Why do all these callers suck, bro? Where am I getting these dumbass callers from, bro? And why is my TikTok not working? Like, why is my TikTok just not working?
They're all over the world.
Why is it not working? Hi, DJ.
Also,
Why is this not
I don't
freaking
know.
working?
TikTok's not a great place.
People keep calling me tonight that are talking about like only racism and like only Russian ethnic ethnic purity. It's kind of crazy. I was watching Charlie Kirk, so it makes sense.
They're woke.
They are woke.
They love
They're
white
woke.
people.
Woke white. Let's see. Camera. Let me see. This is DJ, our resident illegal invader. Come on.
Yeah. I'm here to great replace you.
Come on. Dude. Hi, Kyle.
Hey,
And was it because
last
you're a
caller
pussy and I'm a
kinda
Jew?
wild, in my opinion. He didn't sound like he was like pro Putin. He kind of like understands that what Putin did to Navalny was kind of fucked up. But like playing defense for Trump like he isn't just the American Putin parallel is wild.
Well, he's not nearly as bad, obviously.
Yet.
You guys winning?
No.
Winning what?
Nobody's winning.
That's so tragic. I was expecting some winning.
Are you
I'm
winning?
sick of winning.
Oh, I'm winning mightily. It's like I'm a bakery.
What are you winning?
Life.
Okay.
How?
By being content with it.
That's great.
I mean, it doesn't take a lot for me to be
Wait,
satisfied.
1 second.
I'm a very easy to.
Okay, my camera's working on
entertain person.
Discord. Why is it not working on?
Oh man.
My camera's
He's
working
back.
here.
Did
Hey, if
you
you're
watch
watching the stream, by
South
the way,
Africa?
if you're watching the stream, then I'll be back on in a minute. I have to figure out this TikTok thing.
No, I don't really care about what's going on over there. I
That's
heard
so
there's a
cool.
lot of refugees coming from there. That's about it.
The Golden Corral.
Yeah.
I suppose, if that's what you want to call it.
I think they brought multiple refugees and never mind.
I think it was a bit more than multiple, but yeah.
Nah, I was gonna say they're each sharing a yeah, they're in a yeah, whatever, never mind.
Yeah, whatever. Never mind.
Such a lovely situation. It'll definitely help in the coming future.
We had a mini Zelensky moment.
Now,
Oh, with the South African guy, yeah.
Yeah.
cool. That's good. I think. I don't know.
I think that's what Trump was trying to reproduce, but the leader of South Africa just kind of
He
played it
was
off pretty
he
well.
was being smart with it. He handled it well.
Well, yeah, Trump's boyfriend Musk is from South Africa. He must be quote unquote smart with them.
Yeah, but no, is it Mariposa or Ramaphosa? The dude made him look stupid and did not give him an inch because Trump could barely take a centimeter. But yeah, he definitely. It might just be because he's like better wing, but than Zelensky was, and than Trump. But I don't know. He did a good job of like. There was a moment when somebody asked Trump a question, he started to like stutter. He got a little stun locked. And the South African president was like, I can answer this for you if you want. It was ratioed him live. Everybody everybody in the press conference room was like laughing, and it felt like it was at Trump. And then he had to pull out the look at these white South Africans dying videos. That was his Trump card.
Oh, I saw that.
And there was like hella misinformation in those videos too, right? Like he showed pictures of like graves in the Congo.
How many
Yeah.
times did he mention Rhodesia? I'm really curious. I haven't seen much people mention it.
What about Rhodesia?
Did he ever use it as an example or something?
Oh, I don't know.
If not, I'm surprised.
I hate TikTok. Just
Yeah.
work for
I
me,
love
TikTok.
African politics. So interesting.
Well, I have the stream on right now, just listening, because I can't figure out how to make TikTok work. Really upsetting.
What
Wow.
midlife crisis color do you have now?
Now's your chance to chat, join the Discord.
Yeah, join Discord to talk to us. Join Discord if you're a conservative. Join Discord if you're watching, if you want to talk. We're in the main room in Discord. You're hanging up on them when they bring up good points, just like you did to me. Bro, I'm not... The good points this guy thinks he brought... Okay, come in Discord. Tell DJ about your good points about how the white pure
Actually,
countries are
no,
safe and the
don't.
black evil countries are unsafe. Yeah, tell DJ about that.
No, don't come into Discord. Continue to cry, cope, and see.
Or do come into Discord and tell me about it. Either one.
DJ is into that shit.
I'm into that shit.
Okay, TikTok's just not detecting my virtual camera. I just don't know. Unlock virtual camera going live on Studio One. Wait. Unlock virtual camera by going live on Live Studio One. More time for 25 minutes each. So I can't do virtual camera unless if I do validate it. Dude, I have to validate it now? Dude, TikTok is so strict on this. That's so stupid.
Bland. Jolah is echoing for you a bit, and I am also. You gotta turn down that.
That's not me.
Yeah. I think it is.
No, that can't be possible. Nothing I do is my fault.
Take your time to figure out your input sensitivity, and then say in the chat when you fixed it.
I can't do display capture either. That's crazy.
Oh, we got the buddy in here. We got our best buddy in here.
This might work. Who's in here?
Loki's
Just
in
our
here.
best buddy.
Oh no.
What you got for us tonight, Loki?
Hopefully a note.
He just
Okay.
spent his day watching a bunch of starving children die on the street. He wants to tell us about it.
Are you able to engage with the hypotheticals again, or no?
Oh no, that's like the worst way to enter the conversation.
Yeah. Why are you gonna be? I'll I'll answer the hypotheticals if you can let people talk without constantly interrupting and not be an indignant little piece of shit the whole time.
Damn.
Will you derail and at the same time try to go with an emotional argument? If so,
All
then
right,
there's
you broke the second rule, buddy.
I waited for you to be done.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, the second rule. All right.
Okay, let me try this whole stream thing again. My TikTok is gonna lag if I do it this way, but I have to go live in order for it to validate my stuff, so this is really stupid. This is so dumb. TikTok. Let me see some updates real quick. Okay, guys, I'm gonna... Okay, I'm gonna restart my stream, since I took a little break there. I'm gonna restart it. Thank you guys for hanging out. 100 likes. Thank you guys so much for 100 likes. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna restart my stream and plan to go till 11 p.m. Eastern time. Please consider donating to Jolah Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. That's Jolah Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. I'm restarting my stream. I'm gonna go from now for at least an hour or two. If you want to call in, come back in a second. Thank you guys for hanging out. 100 likes, woo! We hit 100 likes. It's a big celebration. Okay, let me see here. All right, I'll be right back. Restarting my stream. See if this works now. That's it. 100 likes. Maybe you're going in the wrong direction. Yes, 100 people liking my stream. That's a very low number of people. Okay. I'm restarting the stream. Refresh my channel. Okay, refresh my channel and come right back. Okay, restarting the stream. Thank you.